What is going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a good Wednesday. I'm going to be talking through this slate. It's not a whole lot of stuff to get through. We're still waiting on weather. We're still waiting on some other things. Yeah, sorry about that. I should have turned my notifications off there. And all right, hold on one second. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to share my screen here, and I'm going to do that. Sorry, here we go. So I'm only playing a couple lineups tonight, tiny little slate. Me and Cheats went over it all earlier. So if you guys checked it out, not really a lot's changed for me. We are worried about this Mets weather. Okay. So Roth has got a yellow-orange. Shout out to Roth for being the best in the biz. And I personally am a little it's a little nerve-wracking, but I still like the Yankees. I still like the Dodgers. We won't have Cheats today. He just texted me. He's not going to make it. So I have the Yankees, Dodgers, Minnesota, then Arizona in that order in terms of my favorite teams to stack. Favorite individual plays, no shock here. Ohtani, Judge, how to get them in the same lineups. That's a tricky conversation. I'll get into that with pitching in a minute. I'm going backwards today and talking about stacks first. You see the ownership on Judge and Ohtani will be fairly high. It's going to be hard to play them together, in my opinion. And I am willing to try to sacrifice some things to make it work. It just feels like every day these guys are putting up 25 plus, and I'm just going to keep rolling with it. So it's been like one of the things I've done well this year. So anyway, trying to get the Dodgers in with the Yankees. In order to do so, you're going to have to make some compromises on pitching. If it was going to, again, I like the Minnesota stack also. There's some cheap options there. We don't have a lineup from them yet, but I do think that it's a reasonable spot for them. Now, I think it's a reasonable spot for them, but at the same time, in order to get the Yankees and Dodgers in, you see Gill and Manaea are the two projected highest owned pitchers on the slate. The issue I have, well, there's a couple issues I have. One, they have the weather game that seems like it's got all kinds of storms possibly coming in. So that's really the reason to stay off of it. Also, I like Gavin Stone better than either Manaea or Gill. I'm not going to play Manaea. I like the Yankees stack. I like Stone, Elder, Stone, Birdsong, then Elder as my favorites. But because I needed the money a little bit, I am playing a little bit of Reed Nelson just in the interest of full disclosure. It feels gross, and I know I'm playing both sides of this one because I have Minnesota as a stack in my other lineups. But I do think that in order to get, like the Dodgers that I want with the Yankees, it's just hard to do with it unless you're going to make some sacrifices. So I've currently in my biggest buy-in, I've got Stone and Reed Nelson as my pitchers. I think it's totally viable that I could just switch that up basically almost dollar for dollar, pretty close, to Bryce Elder and Hayden Birdsong. And that's sort of, I'm willing to take a shot on the Birdsong thing. I think that's a really reasonable, guy's a high-level prospect. I don't think he's going to go crazy, but I don't think any of these pitchers are, except for Louis Gill. Maybe Elder or Stone could have a big game, but I really am only afraid of and even then, I just don't think we're going to get that optimal pitching performance. So I'm trying to look to do some different things. I would like to get Atlanta St. Louis lineup, which we're still waiting for the first game. The first game obviously was playing this morning, so it's over now, but we were waiting on that. And we need lineups for Minnesota, Chicago, and San Francisco. But it's a pretty straightforward slate. The catchers that I'll just go through it really quickly. I have Trevino as my preferred desired catcher. I understand that Barnes, as it's playing today, is 2,300. I would prefer to get up to go to Trevino. I like Jeffers the next most. And as far as first base goes, I like Ohtani, but because people play Ohtani, it's going to be harder for them to play Freeman. I'm trying to get Freeman, Ohtani, and Judge into lineups together. That's just what it is. I'm trying to work it out. Where I don't, I will go Vlad Guerrero, and then as a spend down, I think you could play JD Davis at third or at first. But I think that's a totally viable route on this slate. You've also got Ben Rice. You could play with Davis if you wanted to get to cheapen your Yankee stack. I think that's the way to do it. So it certainly makes a lot of sense. You also got LeMahieu. You could play at third at 3,400. He's just been beyond dreadful. Dreadful would be kind to him. I didn't get to the Boston-Toronto thing as much because I thought the ownership's going to be too high in Boston, but I do like the Toronto. So I have Horwitz and Schneider as the preferred second baseman from that game. I have the preferred for the Dodgers. And I'm a little surprised. Is this right? Where do they have Lux? I think Lux should be higher owned than that. So Lux would be my other one. Third base. Even if I'm not playing Boston, I have no issue with Devers. I just couldn't get there financially because I'm trying to get these other guys in. I mentioned J.D. Davis already, DJ LeMahieu already. Justin Turner, I think, is a viable route as a spend down. I didn't get to the Royce Lewis even in my stacks just because of the price. I'd rather spend up for Ohtani. I'd rather spend up for Judge. That's really the only reason. And then moving over to short, where I was trying to find a way to save, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I like Volpe quite a bit. I like Bichette quite a bit. And then if you're looking for the cheapest one, for the cheaper ones, you're not going to have many today. DeYoung maybe as a sneaky play if you're not playing Gavin Stone. Outfield, not the screaming value that we've had on some slates. Jason Hayward batting cleanup today is probably one of the better ones at 3,400. Even guys like Tyrone Taylor, I don't mind getting some exposure to. But again, I'm going to have Ohtani as a priority. I'm going to have Judge as a priority. And I'm going to try to get, obviously Hayward is going to be a pretty popular play at 3,400. I think that you could easily just take the Dodgers and go, okay, well, you know what? Pages will be a little bit lower owned. Let's go that route. I think it's a better play anyway. And Teoscar is the guy who gets forgotten about. So if you can try and get to Teoscar, obviously I'd like to do that. But you can sort of hear the same theme. You have the Minnesota guys too, Kepler, Buxton, Larnach. I haven't ranked Buxton, Kepler, then Larnach. And I love Willie Castro. They just bat him too far down in the order. I wish they put him in a normal spot. So that's essentially what I'm doing. D Pope says he's got LA Dodgers, New York stack with Stone and Elder. Nice job. I think that sounds pretty good to me. No, I don't think you have to do any to be honest, I don't think you have to do any stacking whatsoever. If you can find a way to get Judge, Ohtani, Devers, and Freeman in the lineup, I really don't think I think you could go ahead and do that. I think you can go with any which route. I don't think I have any 5-man stacks. I don't think I'll have any 5-man stacks by the time the slate locks, my guess. You just really don't need to. It's just you're getting different than the chalk. We keep going over it. We did it on the sweatshirt last night. How many of these lineups, how many times you can actually win? Now in the lottery, you could argue both sides, but I actually think that you're going to end up the percentages of lineups that contend versus the percentages of lineups that are actually entered. Because like 90+% are 5-man stacks. And if the 5-man stacks even lose like once out of every, 10 days, essentially we're saying that the going no stacking is better. And those are on bigger slates. On these smaller slates, I really don't think you need to worry about stacking the same amount. However, I'm going to probably go like I have a 4-3-1. I've got a 3-3-2. I've got a 4-2-2. That's pretty much what I've got right now. So I'm not really looking at that. And I would get a 4-4 if I could, of the Dodgers and the Yankees especially, but having a little trouble getting there. So still waiting on weather. Going to get out of here in just a couple minutes because Roth's doing his thing. Got the NBA draft tonight. I'm hearing some very crazy rumors from people who know what they're talking about. And no problem, MJ. Good to see you as always, buddy. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens in the draft tonight. And I know that everybody, it's the worst draft we've had on paper since, I don't know, like 2000 or something. No, was it 2005? Yeah, maybe 2005. I can't remember the year exactly, but it's one of those years. This is a bad one, but I'm really curious to see what some of these teams do. I'm hearing Atlanta's looking to potentially draft Bronny and free up their salary space. I'm on the calorie. My mind's on the calories right now. I'm just curious to see what happens with the NBA. You guys know me. I love the NBA more than anything else. So always wild things that happen on draft nights. Teams overreach for guys they get excited about. Some teams don't reach enough. Really, really, really interesting. And it sculpts the future of the sport I love the most. So excited to check that out. It's been kind of a fun week considering that we don't have like the main sports going. I mean, you had the hockey. We had the Game 7 on Monday. What happened yesterday? There was something significant. Well, there's the Euro Cup every day, which is pretty fun to me, and also the Copa. I'm into that stuff as well. I'm not doing it DFS wise, but maybe I would if I had actually something I felt like I could trust. I just feel a little bit like it's not a strength, and everybody who's doing it, it's their super strength. So I'm trying to avoid it, I guess, to some degree. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you all very much. I'll be in the Discord if anything else comes up. We knew today's going to be a quick one. To give a heads up, I'm going to be gone off and on for the next couple weeks. There are going to be days I miss. There's going to be days where Sheets will do his best to try to fill in. So we might not get the shows. We will get the projections out there. We will get the content whenever we have the chance. But I'm just letting you guys know it's kind of got got a lot of family stuff, and it's probably the best time of year to kind of take a vacation and trying to spend time with some older family members who've been quite ill lately. So trying to deal with all that. Anyway, I appreciate your guys' support as always. Please give us the like, the thumbs up. Reminder, the free trials are almost done. We're going to start charging for them because too many people are taking advantage of it. You know who you are. You know what you're doing. You can't keep creating different accounts and different credit cards, and we just don't want to keep having that happen. I think there's some people who have literally done it like 15 times, and it's a $300 a month package. I mean, same on SaberSim anyway. So we're gonna get rid of them. So if you want to check us out, take a look at that free trial now because it will be gone very, very shortly. Anyway, appreciate you all. Good luck.